Hello. Okay, now it is working. What happened there? My bad, guys. My bad. I'm really sorry. Some audio issues. Okay, very sorry. I'm very sorry. There's something wrong with uh, something that went wrong with the mic setup suddenly. I was not expecting this. Alexa, turn off my room light. No, very sorry. There's something wrong with. Sorry, I am messing up very badly today. Uh, yes, I'll put on the light. Sucks. Okay. Okay. I am going to discuss few things right now. Uh, I've been not enjoying these streams, honestly. Not a lot of interaction that I've been getting. Uh, More than just views, I'm looking to interact with people on these live streams. To by interacting, it is more fun for me to discuss design topics if people are chatting around. uh, bringing up points, trying to share something. It's more fun like that for me. Although I do enjoy talking about design of everyday things, I think just restricting myself to it, it's kind of has not been very enjoyable. So, what I'm going to do today is announce that I am changing the format of the podcast. This is a podcast after all, so rather than I shouldn't say changing the format, rather than I am actually going to do a podcast from now on. I'm not going to do a book summary anymore. Uh, so the first part of that is I don't want to completely leave the series in the middle and completely move on to the new format. So I will still discuss today a few things from the current chapter that we were going to discuss. But rather than going through it completely, I'll just recommend and talk about a few things from this chapter and upcoming chapters. And I really recommend that you keep studying these topics. The only thing that is going to happen from now on is that I am not going to uh, take my time and discuss each and everything with example. From now on, it's going to be more of a design podcast. You'll be seeing guests that I'll be contacting and bringing them in and discussing topics with them. It could be a general discussion or a design discussion or a team management discussion. It could be anything. So I'm pretty sure no one is even watching this right now. But if anyone who comes to this series later on, I'm just informing you on the stream now that the summarization, chapter wise summarization of design of everyday things is not going to be what this series is about anymore. That's stopping. But I'll recommend you exactly which topics are really interesting and important. A few with page numbers actually. So in the chapter that we were currently discussing the short-term memory and the working memory and long-term memory are the three things that are really resourceful that you could really use to design your stuff. Um, it helps you keep in mind what matters, what doesn't matter, and you should really read about these. The second topic is the natural mapping, and around natural mapping, there are a few more kinds of mapping that is discussed there. I really am proud of the font that I have written natural mapping in here. So I'm going to show you that. I don't know if this will be visible, but okay, cool. That's page number 113 in the edition of the book that I have. It's the revised and extended 7th edition. I'm guessing the paper there is store. All right. Next one is the constraints section, and especially the cultural constraints, which is 128 page number. The constraints that are discussed around this part of the book are really interesting. Constraint that force the desired behavior, page number 141, is very important. You have to study this if you want to be a better designer, to have your user behave the way you intend the user to. That's the end of this chapter. The next chapter, which is human errors, is completely I mean, it's so important. I can't even point to what is important in this chapter. I'll just quickly show you how important this chapter by just uh, right. So this is the start of the chapter. Okay, you see starting of underlines here, and Oh my god. Every okay. So this is this chapter, and quickly I'll do a very old trick that everyone does to show you how interesting this chapter has been for me. Okay, did not work out how I thought it would. I'll start flipping through. That should work. Why is this not visible? Okay. So you will see highlights, underlines throughout the chapter. This chapter is a gold mine for if anyone who is interested in design, even remotely. I think the underlines are not clearly visible, but they're there. So basically, what I'm trying to say is this whole chapter is extremely important. You cannot skip this chapter, even a line from this chapter. Very important. And that's the last chapter, which is important in terms of designing screens. Uh, After this, there's another chapter which discusses about the, let's say, the office ethics and the industry ethics and the business ethics of designing. So the last chapter, if you might not appreciate it as a fresher, but if you're an experienced designer, you will thoroughly enjoy this. There are parts of this chapter which I just read and I say, "Oh my God!" He just said something I have been thinking about for such a long time, uh, and slandering people for no reason at all, and just he's just saying his goodbyes in this book essentially. Uh, the very special section in the last chapter is the future of books section, which I think it's there here, and the keyboard section, like the typewriter to keyboard journey case study that he has written is amazing. These two are absolutely fun to read, but this doesn't really teach you a lot about designing screens. Honestly, these are more about handling situations and understanding how design works and how business works and how design impacts businesses. So yeah, you must read it for yourself to understand what these chapters are doing at the end. The competitive forces. The competitive forces, page number 259, is the ultimate guide for anyone who is a designer or a businessman to understand why and when to switch uh, from thinking like a designer to thinking like a businessman. Because until you understand and empathize with your business, you can't really understand how to design and what to prioritize. So the chapter 7, design in the world of business, competitive forces, tells you so much about how to think as a designer, uh, that can empathize with the business owners. And yeah, there's a section about futurities. I can't really spell it properly, but it's a deadly temptation, like how feature stacking is a deadly sensation. Is a These are like some of the golden, chapters. Now this book can be divided into two complete halves according to me, and the first half is all about design and philosophy of design and psychology of design and this and that and all the goody stuff about designing. But second half of the book is completely a pessimist point of view of a designer. Not pessimist, but I have written a it's about realism in the design industry. It's very realistic. You read it, you understand that Don Norman is not just a guy who stands like this and talks, oh yeah, this design, that design. No, he has gone through stuff. he has written this because he has gone through the same thing that you and me are going through. This tells you a lot about that human being. I really hope there was something in the starting of the book which told me about, Don Norman in this way. Uh, for the first few chapters of this book, you think like Don Norman is some. I mean, he is a very important person, but he is human at the end. Is what he has mentioned in the end. And if he had mentioned this in the start of the book, it would have been so much more relatable. And I mean, it is relatable. It's not. It's a little hard to articulate what I'm trying to say. But yes, the first few chapters, it feels like Don Norman has written it, but God is speaking through him, talking about design. Is that too much? I think that's too much. But okay, you get what I'm saying. It's just the first part of the book is very design, idealistic, uh, very user centric, and oh user, oh yes, we have to work for the user, and that's what exactly we are supposed to do. But the second part of the book also tells you how the business side of it kind of works, and how do you as a designer balance uh, what it is to work as a designer in a capitalist environment, basically. How you have to keep in mind that there's a person who depends on you to work and produce a good product. Yeah, so that's about the book. That's about the book, and I think I might not discuss these topics from throughout the book anymore, like I used to with. I'll do. I need to try to find people uh, who can come on with me and who I can interact with on the stream, and people can watch those streams rather than me just blabbering on the mic. If anyone is interested, anyone is watching this stream right now and say, "Hey, Rishik, I would like to, talk on your stream." So you can drop a email at rishikrkjha.23@gmail.com. RISHIKRKJHA dot 23. So drop an email if you want to come on the podcast. There's no reason. I'm not even. There's no qualifying uh, number that you have to hit. Anyone from anywhere who is interested in design, please reach out. I would love to talk to you. I just want to talk about design with people. Uh, People who are passionate about design. It doesn't have to be UX design. It doesn't have to be product design. It could be any kind of design. I just want to talk to designers, and that's what this podcast is going to be about from now on. So we'll not just talk to these people because of what people they are, but also we will take a topic in design which we think is important, and the podcast will be about that and the person I'm talking to. So that's my plan moving forward. uh Sorry about the. Okay. uh I don't think I have anything else. I'll quickly call Ritik to see what he's doing. Ritik is a fellow designer and a friend. Pretty late, he might not pick actually. Okay, I think he must be sleeping. It is around 8 degrees in where he lives right now. All right, so we'll end the stream with that. Um, Thank you so much for the like, and good night.